Hi there, I'm Melissa Casera. I'm a professional screenwriter and publicity strategist, and I love helping entrepreneurs to create obsessed fan bases for their work, leading to more sales, more signups, and more fan mail. So today I'm going to dig into a really juicy question, which I get asked all the time, which is my idea any good? And this is not just a question for business. So it's not, is my business idea any good? It's, is my idea for this online course any good? Is my idea for a book any good? Is my idea for a script any good, right? So it can be applied to anything, not necessarily just, your overarching business idea. So it's an idea for a product or a service, or even something maybe you're giving away for free. So when you are evaluating if an idea is good, I have a couple of tips on how you can do that so that you are wasting way less time and way less money and energy creating things that you don't want to stick with for the long haul. So something that I see happen a lot is that people will get idea-gasms, right? So I call it that because, hey, I've had them too, where you get this idea and it's like, wow, this is everything. And you can't stop thinking about it. And usually that goes on for about a day. Maybe it doesn't even last that long, but you're very, very excited to begin with. And then, as you start to dig into all of the little unsexy steps that it takes in order to make that idea a reality, suddenly there is no more idea-gasm. Suddenly, it's more like womp womp, right? You don't want to move forward with this particular thing. Unfortunately, sometimes we sink a lot of time and money into something before we get to that point to even know that this is not an idea that we want to bring into the world. So here are a couple of qualifying questions that you can ask yourself to evaluate before you take any forward movement on an idea from here on out. So the first one is, what do you need to make this idea a reality? So this is one of those get real with yourself questions. And what I mean by that is actually sitting down, chipping apart that idea and figuring out how much time you're going to need to expend to make that happen, how much budget you're going to need to expend. Are you going to do it? Are you going to have a team do it? Or will you all be doing it together? So really thinking through all of those elements ahead of time rather than being reactive to them later on down the line, which normally costs a lot more time and money than you may have originally anticipated. I would also add about 25% to whatever figure you come up with. So if you say this project is going to take me $10,000 to accomplish, well, I would add an additional 25% to that just in case, build in a buffer for yourself. And the same thing with time. Maybe you think it's only going to take a week to accomplish. Well, again, add another 25% to that just to give yourself that safety buffer. Okay, the second thing to take into account is, what do you need to release in your business or in your life in order to make this idea a reality? It's very rare that we can have an idea and just automatically make it happen without carving some space and taking something else off your plate. If you just keep loading things onto your plate, then that is a direct path to complete burnout. So instead, you need to decide what in your life or in your business needs to go away, or at least temporarily take a back seat so that you can make this idea a reality. Okay, and then the third part, and this is probably the most important part, is really thinking through if this idea is going to be something that you want to stick with for the long haul, through all of the roller coaster ups and downs. Every single thing in business is like a science experiment. So there are going to always be ups and downs. It's never going to be a soaring path just right in the air. I wish that were the case, but it's not. It's always going to have its ups and downs. So you have to know that whatever idea you are coming out with, it will have dips and slumps at some point. So will you be able to stick with this particular idea for the long haul? This is something that I ask myself every time I create a screenplay or come up with an idea for a script. I ask myself, is this something I can see myself sticking with for about 7 years, which is the average length from when you first have an idea for a script to when, if you're lucky enough, it goes all the way through production and comes out into the world. So it's quite a long time, right? And in anything in business is the same way. Typically, we don't create things just to make them go away 6 months or a year later. Typically, we want to create sustainable things. A class that sells for years and years and years, a product, a service, right? We don't want to keep creating new things. We want to create something sustainable that then grows over time. So I hope that these ideas to help your ideas be better help you. And what I'm going to do is drop a really simple worksheet below this video that includes these questions. So in case you need to go back and feel you need to scribble them all down, I'll just give them to you below this video so you can pop that link right into your browser and you will get those questions. It's a nice, easy worksheet that you can use moving forward. So I hope that this helped you to really evaluate your business ideas moving forward. And thank you so much for watching.